and go straight into it. And I believe everybody can hear me. So if you can hear me, just type one in your chat box. All right, all right, all right, all right. So like I said, our topic for today is market structure. So we have market structure as our main topic. We know that we have three types of structures in the market that determines whether or not the trend of the market. So we have three types of trend in the market. So we have uptrend, we have downtrend, and we have consolidating markets. So we have uptrend, and we have a market that is downtrend. I'll go ahead and define all these trends for us, all these market types. The best way we could trade all these type of markets. And we also have consolidating market or a sideways trend. Or can also call it a sideways market, or sideways trend. Sideways. So like what we can see here, we said our main topic is market structure. So what's market structure? So the structure of the market has to do with how we determine our trend and what we what we see as a trader before we can enter a trade, and what are the confluences this determines for us before we can take a trade. So we have uptrend, which is the case in which the market is bullish. So in the case of the bullish trend, it doesn't actually mean that when market it's in an uptrend that it just moves in a straight direction. Market actually does move in waves. So it does something which it does impulsive move to the upside, and then there is always a pullback leg before it actually breaks a structure and then continues to move in that direction. So which in the option direction, you'll always see the market printing more higher highs and higher lows. So when we say higher highs and higher lows, what do we mean by higher highs and higher lows? We mean the market breaking structures to the upside, so creating new highs that are higher than the highs that market created before and is lower than the recent low that it created. So I would show us and I'll give you a few examples when, to show us an uptrend scenario. So we also have the downward scenario, which is the inverse of an uptrend. So what we would always see in a downtrend is market creating lower lows and lower highs. So in a downward trend, we would always see market break structures to the downside. So, but then in the last type of market that we see, it's a consolidating market or a sideways trend, which is the case in which the market is actually indecisive. So the buyers and the sellers in the markets are indecisive. So which means this when this scenario occurs, it means that there are indecisions in the market, right? The buyers and the sellers, they are indecisive. So which means they are keeping the price range in stagnant in kind of in a range. So the market doesn't break out. So most traders who trade using candlesticks, that trade uh, other type of trend, which is different from the smart money concept. They trade this market, so they trade like breakouts. So when market break out of this range, they tend to take trades from there. But if you are trading SMC and you trade using structure, you don't want to, you want to stay out of this type of market when market is sideways, trading in a sideways trend, so consolidating in some way. So I'll go ahead and show us the scenario in which market is in an option. So I'll pick part two. So you see these tools that I'm having here, I'll kind of I've kind of like favorite those tools here that I actually use to analyze the market. And it's always very nice if you are able to use all these tools and then you kind of favorite them. So we have like a whole section that covers how walk through on how your trading view, the settings of trading view. So you can go ahead if you were not here or you can't remember any section of that about all your tools trading view. So we have our long position tool here, a short position tool, pardon me, and we have our long tool here, which are actually like favorites. So I'm having them down here, and I can actually drag them around, and I can use them. In this scenario, we want to use the part two, which I will use to like draw on my chart. So in this scenario, we want to draw an option for us. So in an option, you will see something like this: market creating a higher highs and higher lows. So this is a clear example of an option. So markets doing what it does, moving in waves, but then creating impulsive moves to the upside and creating a pullback leg and creating a higher low. So creating a higher high here and creating an impulsive move here, now then creating a higher low. So we say a higher high because this high here, we say a higher high because the high here is higher than this high. So I'll pick my text tool now right here. So what we have here is a higher high, and then we have again a higher high, and we have a higher low, just about here, because this low here is lower than this low, and this low is higher than this low, this recent low here. So on and so forth. And this is for upwards uptrend scenario. And when we see a downtrend, so this is for like an uptrend. We have option here. Why is it option? Because the trend is actually in an upward direction. So I can also give us a clear example of that. So by just drawing my trend line across here, and you can see where it's heading at. It's the upward direction. So when it comes to the downtrend, I'll pick out part two again and I'll draw. So what we'll see in a downtrend would be market creating lower highs and lower lows. And if we continue to break structures to the downside, so on and so forth. Uh, let me just, okay. So what we'll see here in the downtrend is the market continues to create these lower lows and lower highs. So in this scenario, we see the higher lows and lower lows. And market continues to break the trend, great structure to the downside. We have lower lows and higher lows. So on and so forth. So then, if I take my trend line and I draw a trend line here, what you see is that the market is actually creating a lower trend downward. So then, when it comes to the other trend that we'll see in the market is also the type of market we will have again, which is the third one. We have a consolidating market, which is creating equal lows and equal highs. So you see something like this, market actually moving like a channel. Well, not exactly perfect channel, but then stays in the range. So you see market is consolidating in this case. And what I will always recommend you do is stay out of the market when market is actually consolidating. So here it creates equal highs and equal lows. So we have higher highs and we have equal highs and equal lows. So more of staying in the range. So what we see is market actually creating these equal highs and then equal lows, so creating a support and a resistance. So and then it continues to do this until it either breaks upward or it breaks downward. So yeah, those are basically the types of market that we have. And we'll go ahead right now and then do some analysis when it comes to regarding the types of market we have and the market structure before I actually. So these are the type of market we have. So I would rather want to have questions first before we move on. So can everybody hear me? Can you guys hear me? Is there any question regarding what we just said up to now? If there's any question, you can type in the chat box or you can unmute and ask before we move ahead. Okay. Someone said they understand this. Okay. Mr. London, All right. So to have the market structure, I'll pick my part two again. And then let's say in this scenario, we have an uptrend. So we see market creating structure like this. And we see it do something like this. We see it do something like this. And it does something like this. And it does something like this. And it does this. And it does this. So for you to understand your market structure, market has to create newer highs and create newer lows. So which means you have to break a structure before we can successfully say it's a it's a structure. Before it has to be a structure, there has to be the recent highs taken out. So in this scenario, what would first see market do is create impulsive move to the upside. So we see market do something like this, creating impulsive move to the upside, and then creating the pullback leg down this range, and then we see the impulsive move to the upside again. So it does impulsive move upside. We see market do impulse move to the upside. So I don't even need to like type this up, but yeah, it does impulsive move to the upside, and then it does its pullback phase to the downside, and then this high here, then when it does another impulsive move to the upside, it breaks the recent high, and then we have the break of structure. So we have something like this. When market create new highs, this recent high is no longer valid. So we have market doing something like this, and we have a break of structure, BOS, and it continues to do this. There's another. Someone trying to ask a question. So we see market doing impulsive moves to the upside again, and we have a break of structure, BOS. And it continues like this. So this is in an upward scenario, in an uptrend scenario. And we also have the downward scenario. So I'll first of all give us an example in the upward scenario, so in an uptrend to start with. So this is a real chart, a BTC chart that I'm pulling out. There is also a clear structures here, and also we also have like internal structures here. So if I pick my path right here, and I drew from here, oh, we have
Leader Abiola,
yeah.
you're echoing.
Oh, that's good. What about now? Not be connected. Hello.
Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, we do 4 hours. So this is this point chart. We have, let's assume I wanted to do an analysis and I wanted to draw my structure. I could come to my 4 hours time frame, first determine the trend. So I pick my part two. So I draw my part two from here and I have something like this. I have something like this. I can already determine that from this, my structure that I just drew, I already know that market is in an uptrend, just merely looking at it because I can see market breaking structure to the upside. Even from this blue line here, you can see I've already marking out my structure. You can see the market continue to break structures to the upside, but just to make it very visible, so I just get it out. You can see. So we have market clearly breaking structures to the upside, and we can call this your BOS. We can call this as well the BOS, break the structure to the upside, and it's an uptrend. Why do we call this an uptrend? If you pick your trend line and draw from the bottom here all to the upside, you can see clearly that we have an uptrend, right? Okay, this is our 4 hours time frame. There is an uptrend. And we need to have a top-down analysis, even though we are not getting to that topic right now. Tonight, the topic we have is market structure. And I want to make sure that we all understand that we are on the same page. So for you to have a clear break of structure, market has to take out the recent high and create a new high. So taking out the recent high to create a new high. So in fact, that's exactly what happened here on BTC on our 4 hours chart. So you can see that before market created this BOS here, there was a recent BOS that created here, and there was a high around here. So where is the high? There's a high here. The market created this high, and then it took it out and then created another high. And here again, it took this high off and then had this high. And then it continued. It created this high again. And this high around here, we are around 112,000, which is the recent high BTC created. And then now we are currently trading at around 109,000. When market, and this is the high that market is going to take out before it create new highs again in the market. Before we even say we are getting close to this to want to know more about in details about this, I want to make sure that we in this community are able to draw our market structure and get all of this right. This is why anytime you are coming to our technical analysis class, always come with your notes and come and get these things really clear. So for this is an uptrend scenario, right? We have what we call internal structures and external structure. So if we are drawing our structures here, right, merely knowing that we are analyzing our chart for an 4 hours time frame, which we have different time frame ranging from the yearly to the monthly to the daily to the 4 hours time frame, ranging down to even the minutes and seconds. So if we are to do our top-down analysis, I always recommend that you start off from daily or from the 4 hours time frame downward to then having your entry time frame, which what I would always recommend is a 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and a 15 minutes time frame. So now this is what we see what we mean by market structure. And then I'll go down now up to the hourly time frame. So even show us more. So even here, I've already done some work here for us that you can see already that I mark out structure with these blue lines. Actually, I will just do something. So and I'll clear this chart up. I'll do a pure market structure here in this range. So if I pick my path through and I draw it all the way from this low to this high, and I come down here, I draw to this high, and I come down again, I draw here, and I come up here. Market created this low is an equal low, so we have this, and we have this, and then all the way here, and then this, and we have this, and now we are currently sitting down here. So market creating this, okay, yeah. So then, even though there is a change of character here already, so Bitcoin already has broke structure to the downside, right? In our hourly time frame. So we have clearly here before it switched character. So we have the BOS around here. And then we have another BOS. So if you are not understanding anything, please type in the chat box, or you can unmute and ask a question. Do you have a question? Please explain the break of structure again. Okay, I'll definitely do that. All right, so we have another structure broke to the upside. Creating new high. So we have BOS again. Just to even though with this recent high here, then when it created this and we have structure broken to the upside to the downside, what is mostly important here is that I just want to show you how market can break structure to the upside, because when there is a recent high and it's been broken and creating new highs, we tend to have a BOS, which is the break of structure. So for the person who said I explained again market structure, I'll just go ahead and give us the definition of it. So I said, for we to have the market structure, you want to first determine the trend. So let's assume you are analyzing an uptrend. So what you will have is impulsive move to the upside and a pullback phase to the downside, breaking structure to the upside, so creating new high. So you have something like this. Market will continue to offer you something like this, breaking structures again to the upside like this. So impulsive move to the upside, pull back leg to the downside, and a break structure creating new high. Yeah. So for a market to create a structure, it has to eliminate the previous high. So creating newer higher highs and creating newer higher lows. So which means you have your higher highs and higher highs being taken out. Take this one out, so you have a break of structure. So which means creating newer highs and creating newer higher lows in an uptrend scenario. So we have our BOS, vector structure. So I hope this clarifies that for the person who said I uh, explain the vector structures again. BOS, and then we have our new BOS, and this is for the uptrend scenario. So if you just pick up your trend line and you do it, you see this is not actually breaking the trend, and it's all trading in this within the trend. You can see in an upward direction. So market is actually supporting it. So this is an upward direction, and we have the downtrend scenario, which we always create something like this. Impulsive move to the downside and a pullback leg to the upside. Impulsive move to the downside, to the upside, to the downside, sorry, and then a pullback leg to the upside. So yeah, and something like this, and yeah. So then you want to draw your structure, which is like this. And you have your BOS. So you can actually see okay, let's see. Yeah, for the downtrend, this is what we have. And yeah, if you draw your trend line, you'll see what we have is a downtrend. So yeah, uh, is there any question? Do you have any question in the chat box, or we are all clear on this? Because for the downtrend, you see impulsive move to the downside and a pullback leg upward. So creating lower lows and lower highs. And for the uptrend scenario, we see higher highs and higher lows being created. So the other type of market you would see that we talked about this evening is the ranging markets or consolidating market, which you will see equal highs and equal lows. So something like this. So market consolidating. And if you drag your trend line, and you draw it, so you see market creating equal highs and equal lows. So market not actually doing that much. And you have your market structure from here, and you also have your market structure within here. So because we have a break of structures, so in either direction that market is doing, you could always bag on it when you know your trend, and then obviously combining every aspect of analysis, which is your market structure, meeting your confluences, and then determining your trade. So you have to first determine the trend, determine the type of markets before you even determine whether it's a trend or not. You want to first know what's the direction of the market, so which means determining the trend. So, but then you want to know which type of market you are trading. So if you are able to spot what type of trend is it, you would know, okay, yeah. Then the next thing to obviously look out for is your structure. So you draw your structure, and then you make the confluences that we'll be talking about in the next classes. So for our market structure, this is actually it. So if anybody has any question, you can come up with it. I think the first person who asked the question said if we could explain market structure better, and I did again. Yeah. So is there any question, or you could just type one in the chat box if you understand what we've talked about. You guys, if you understand what we talked about, you can type one in the chat box. All right, all right. Mr. Grando said he understood what we talked about. That's amazing. So does it mean the other guys here, we understand, we understand? Okay. Also, Mr. Yanin, who says it's clear. For the other guys, if you don't understand, please, you can always type I don't understand, or be specific and just type, or you unmute and ask. So in the absence of no other question, I'm going over to the Ocean to take over.
And Villa, thanks so much for the amazing presentation. Leader Tim Tokwe, I think you should take it and just brief us for your for tomorrow's prospect meeting, because I'm having network issue.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Leader Bella, for that wonderful one. Though I was about to ask my question before the Ocean coming, but probably I could have asked. My question is like this before I go ahead and say, how do we how will this one add up to my money? Because me, I want to blow this year. This market structure, how will it add me? How will it add? So I want to throw more light on that. So please and please, quickly, in case you are in the call, I want to encourage you to please invite as many you can invite tomorrow. I'm telling you, invite as many as you can invite tomorrow. Don't allow people to ask you what has RoyalQ done in your life. Let your team building be enough for you to cater for your family for the rest of their life. So please and please, I'm begging you, I beg you, invite as many as you can invite tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be exceptional. I mean, exceptional. So please do not forget the time is still the same time, 8:30 tomorrow. So do well to do that. And as you do that, you're going to see a lot of results in your trades and in your personal lives. So thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Answering your question, so definitely, if you want to know, as a trader that doing analysis and being able to pick trade for yourself and being able to determine what markets will do, that will definitely bring you the money, of course. because that makes you a better decision maker in the market, and you're ahead of a lot of other people in the market because while you actually knowing what you are doing by any trade that you're taking, you're making the right decision and you know what you are in for. So drawing your structure is very essential to technical.
Okay, so thank you very much, Abel, for that amazing one. Thank you so much. So I hope everybody all had something. So please, let's also encourage our team members to always make sure they attend technical analysis class. Technical analysis is a must class if you want to maximize the market well. You want to make a whole lot of money. You must understand technical analysis. I think it's high time we stop doing lock, try, or trying. No, no, no. Be intentional. Let's be intentional about trading. Let's be intentional about what we are doing in the crypto market. And I believe nobody gets anywhere by luck. You get there by intentionality. So please and please always encourage your team members or encourage yourself to make sure you're in this class. This class is, I always want to say this. This class outside, it costs a lot. Ask the person who is taking us when he wanted to get his, ask him how much he paid. But today you are getting it free of charge in a platter of gold, and you are not appreciating it. So please, in case you are not appreciating it, your team I beg, I want you to appreciate this section. It's not just this thing. Let your team members know about it. Let it be a must for them. Please, I beg us. And I know that as we learn, it will be a lot of difference in our trades. They will definitely be different. So at this point in time, I think we can call it a day. I want to sincerely appreciate all those people who are in the Zoom section today. I also appreciate our team leader, Leader Osho, and everyone who has participated in one way or the other. And thank you so much, Leader Abiola, for the amazing one. Thank you for taking out your time to come and teach us. We do not take it for granted at all. So thanks everyone for showing up. Do have a wonderful evening. I think we can unmute ourselves and say bye to everyone. See you tomorrow by this time, 8:30. You can unmute yourself and say goodbye to everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Good night.
Thank you so much.